This is the first video in our series detailing the Defender warm-ups and how members should approach the ensemble preparation. Long tones, we start every rehearsal with me silently stepping on the podium. Once every member is silent, focused, and ready to play, I cue a concert F. I choose concert F because it's a comfortable note for most. We play several to ensure the ensemble is breathing and performing together before moving on to concert B flat. And again, we do these several times to make sure that the ensemble is focused and everybody's breathing and playing together. A lot of care is taken to make sure that low B flat is not tubby and unfocused. It tends to be a really gross note. If not handled carefully, it will be really spread and potentially out of tune. Every long tone has three parts. In everyday language, we call these the beginning, the middle, and the end. In musical terms, we call them the attack, the sustain, and the release. Well, the attack first. Everyone should produce a clear and characteristic immediate tone. The tongue acts as a valve to release the air, causing vibration to occur instantly. This may be associated with a slight breath pulse at the beginning to overcome the inertia of the lips, the reed, or the air column. Here are some examples of poor attack. That's a splat. It has too much breath pulse and it causes a distorted attack. Breath attack can be a useful tool for developing immediacy of tone in individuals' practice, but it should not occur in an ensemble setting. That's a sputter attack and has the breath pulse out of sync with the tongue. Next, the sustain should be steady and it shouldn't waver in pitch or dynamic unless it's been cued by the conductor. Here are some examples of a poor sustain. The twitch can be a result of poor posture or incomplete breath support. Players need to suppress the need to fidget. This is the pinch. Got to take care to keep your oral cavity open and the embouchure static, making sure you're not changing things during the middle of the note. And finally, you've got the release. There are two types of releases. There's open and closed releases. Our open release will be the default. That's what we should be normally using. The air stopped with the muscles in the abdomen. Think of inhaling ever so slightly to stop the forward motion of that airstream. Imagine blowing a spit bubble like a little baby and inverting it from convex to concave without popping it. That's how much you need to pull the air back, no more. Closed releases involve using the tongue to help stop the air. Many styles of music like funk, jazz, and Latin require closed releases. It will never be required in a long tone. So, here are some releases. That's an example of a poor closed release. You can almost imagine the tongue wagging out of the end of the bell. In this example, I took the tongue and decreased the volume in the space of my mouth. The result was a pinched tone, and my pitch was going sharp. In jazz, it's called a doit, and it's indicated by an upwards curved line after the note. Usually done very quickly. Another one. Yeah, but it just falls off and there's no sustain at the end. Players keep the airstream intense. Think beyond the release point. There are some genres of music that use short and long falls, especially some jazz. This is a short fall. This would be a long fall. Player's got to keep the airstream intense all the way to release point. Require its focus your air instead of diminishing the intensity of the airstream. You got to push all the way to the end. And finally, my least favorite release, the rip. Unless you're a soloist leading your own band and paying the bills, I should never hear this. Thanks for watching. Keep playing.